Well, debate moderator Lester Holt feeling pressure, in fact, from both camps. The Trump team accusing Holt of lobbying softball questions at Hillary Clinton like birtherism or his comments on the president or Hillary Clinton's presidential looks. Most glaring, of course, was the lack of questions, specifically Benghazi, emails, pay-to-play, the Clinton Foundation. Here to break it all down, Tammy, Bruce, Jessica Tarlov, and Boris Epshteyn are back with us. Boris, what do you make of this? It's that, golly, I got to tell you, I mean, he really just felt like, I don't know if it was his intention, but he really, in my mind, did so much to help Hillary Clinton. And again, I don't know that it was a plant or a setup, but that's the way it came out.
Well, I think he couldn't help but be influenced by all of the pressure and the blowback on Matt Lauer after that forum. That had to be, listen, same network. He saw how much really nastiness Matt Lauer faced, and Matt Lauer was very even-handed in that forum. Hillary Clinton just did terribly. So Lester Holt, he interrupted Donald Trump 16 times. He interrupted Hillary Clinton 0 times. He asked Donald Trump 4 questions that were very pointed. He asked Hillary Clinton 0 pointed question. 0. 1 big 0.
By the way, I should share with the audience this breaking news that the president, this debate commission is going to allow emails, questions to come in from people via emails, and I think that's
private email servers?
No, well, maybe some of those as well. But my thinking is that Lester Holt was asking questions that matter to him. Right? So the birtherism thing probably mattered to him. Does Hillary Clinton look presidential? Probably matter to him. I don't know that he thought about the broader audience and the American public. Certainly he went off script.
Yeah, when you think about the best moderator, you think of a Jim Lehrer, and you wonder about how a Jim Lehrer would handle it. He wouldn't have handled it the way Lester Holt did. Look, he asked Donald Trump 6 follow-up questions, asked none of Hillary. Asked Donald Trump 15 specific questions to him and his issues, 2 to Hillary. It was also an attitude framework, almost like he was a third debater. It was like the debate between Lester Holt and Donald Trump. Now, this is the challenge, though, for Mr. Trump, is to be able to handle that and learn how to handle that, because the next 2 are also not going to be any easier. But Byron York, I think it was, made a point on Twitter earlier that Lester Holt, I don't think this was, and I agree with him, is not some kind of conspiracy with the campaign, that this is the groupthink in media in general.
Well, that's what I mean.
That it's all, it is, to your point, all about them, what interests them, and we know that they're liberals, whether they are even registered as a Republican, it doesn't matter.
I think that does matter.
This is what will make Donald Trump a better president, because this will also go on. They're better presidents in general for the country because they are constantly under attack like this. It's unfair, but it's
true. Jessica, I mean, there's a point to that. It felt like Hillary Clinton was a little flat-footed when it came to Matt Lauer, when he hit her with some hard questions. She wasn't prepared for it. And, you know, after cruising through last night, you can imagine if one of the next moderators were to decide to say, I'm going to ask you about Benghazi and I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. I'm going to ask you about these foreign donations from countries that mistreat women, mistreat the LGBT community. I'm going to really hold your feet to the fire. Would she be prepared to deal with that?
I think so. I think last night proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this woman is prepared.
Well, last night was a walk in the park for her.
I don't think it was a walk in the park. First of all, I thought Trump's most effective question or segment was definitely on trade, which was a question designed to hit Hillary Clinton.
But we're talking, that's on a broader macro topic. We're talking specifically the relationship between the candidates and the moderator. Last night was a walk in the park to her. There were violins, flowers. It smelled. I mean, she was enjoying it. She had a smile on her face.
But there's also, and listen, I take your point. Obviously, the figures that you threw out there about the number of times he pushed back on her versus him.
Do you worry, though, that she might not be prepared for tough questions?
No, I actually don't worry about it. I worry that her answers will not be adequate to the American public, but I do not worry that she won't be prepared to answer them. I think Tammy's exactly right. This is Trump's challenge, especially if you're going to live in a world where people are going to try to live fact-check you. He says a lot of things that aren't true, and I'm not saying that Hillary Clinton is a saint here, but when he says, you know, the Iraq vote fight or the birtherism fight or whatever it is in that particular moment, he needs to be better equipped to handle it and to not lose his cool and go on one of these weird rants.
That was a pivot.
So that was a pivot. Here's the reality of it.
Here's another pivot, by the way.
Hillary Clinton absolutely cannot answer those tough questions because she doesn't have an answer.
Well, here's the thing, guys.
I'm sorry on the emails.
I think the bottom line is we will see tougher questions. So whether she can handle them or not, we'll find out.
One way or the other.